local since 1997. The Bangor Savings Bank Foundation has provided support to local nonprofits in hopes to create a thriving community. And today, they told WABI their recent recipients include Panquist, who is getting funding to help build a new child development center in Bangor. $157,000 will go towards 15 organizations across northern New England. Some organizations work to support food access, education, and wellness, focusing on rural and underserved communities. We spoke to the foundation's program officer, Gavin Robinson, about some of the local organizations receiving a portion of the grant.
Some of the gifts in our area will be with Panquist Cat, who's developing a child care facility in Bangor, the Piscataquis Area Community Center, who's revitalizing the former Y building up in Dover-Foxcroft. We're helping them with some equipment. And one that's close to my heart is Sarah's House in Holden, Maine, a cancer hospitality home.
Robinson says Sarah's House means so much because the founder of the nonprofit, Sarah Robinson, was a family member. He says Sarah's House of Maine was awarded $25,000 to improve accessibility and safety in its facilities, including ADA-compliant guest rooms and remodeled parking. Panquist Cap will receive a $250,000 grant for that new child care facility. We'll have a link on our website with a list of all the recipients.